Hello everybody, welcome to Bass and Bonsai. That's how you do it. Mwah. Exactly how we do it. Hello everybody, welcome to Bass and Bonsai. I wanted to put together a little kind of a compare video, BFS versus standard gear, kind of real world shootout, so to speak, but to also explain, I don't think a lot of guys talk about in BFS, you know, to throw lightweight stuff, but it's kind of like in a scaled version. Look at it from a scaled point of view. When you're throwing traditional stuff, you're throwing ½ ounce bigger. You might go down to ¼ ounce stuff. If you go any lower, you usually start using spinning gear, some like weightless worms, different stuff like that, but it's almost like a scaled version. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast just my standard. This is the Aldebarans. I'm using Aldebarans for this, different rods, but this is the Aldebaran 50. It's kind of on the low end reels, but you know what I call standard. It's about, well, I can throw almost anything big that I throw ½ ounce with this, but we're gonna throw a ½ ounce chatterbait with it, and we're gonna throw, I don't even know what this sucker weighs, but this little lightweight did I say chatterbait? Rattle traps. I always have chatterbait on the brain because they catch a lot of fish. But anyway, we're gonna throw with the Aldebaran BFS XG and the Cayenne Teton 6'3" ultralight, this little lightweight dude, which is probably somewhere around 1/8 of an ounce. Almost impossible to throw with standard, you know, bait casting gear. But we're not going to get the distance. We're not, you know, trying to shoot this thing 50 yards or whatever. It's just so we'll be able to throw it, period, with bait casting gear and target, you know, the area we want to hit. If you're out for pure, you know, casting distance, you'll still want to stick with standard stuff, get maybe a lightweight spool, but not necessarily super shallow, and still throw heavier baits if you're out fishing where you're wanting distance. BFS isn't really intended for that. It's to scale down when you're wanting something smaller, more of a finesse presentation for fish. But real world casting, I don't know if anybody's ever done this. I'm going to spin you guys around. I'm going to show you just what you can do with the standard ½ ounce rattle trap, not chatterbait. So I'm just going to cast down here. We got a little wind blowing this way, but it shouldn't affect the cast. So that's about, I cast all the original line I put on. That's kind of what I call my line backing. So you take a standard spool, make it a little more shallow, and put your other line on it. But you see that? That's a long cast, and we're going to be reeling for a little while. That's, you know, standard gear, whether it's a crankbait or these rattle traps, lipless cranks, and you're wanting distance, and that's a whole different ball game than your BFS stuff. In case if any of you are wondering, like, well, what distance can I expect? A lot of people, I think, are let down when they get a BFS set up and they throw this lightweight stuff and it doesn't go as far as their regular stuff, and they're like, oh, it should go further. No, it's not designed, that's not the point of it. Most of BFS was thought up to throw little lightweight stuff in little short areas to actually more for accuracy than distance. So I'm going to show you this one and you'll get an idea. Okay, we're out there, but we're probably lucky to be half the distance, but the bait weighs less than half of, you know, the other bait we're using. It's on a scaled version. You guys have to remember that, because I think some people may get frustrated on what they're wanting their BFS stuff to do, or, you know, first thinking about getting into it. It's just designed so I can take this little bait, you know, and cast it out with ease. And kind of like I do at this pond. This pond is capable. It has a few big 5-pounders in it here and there. But when I normally go out here, you've seen the videos, I'm catching little fish. So for the majority of the time. So catching them on this, it's still a lot of fun. I can get out here and have fun. But then if I hook a 5-pounder on this, guess what? Game on. It's a lot more fun than on your standard gear. Now if you're going to big lakes, and, you know, predominantly big fish, there's, you know, you probably wouldn't want to use BFS gear, you know, unless you're throwing like a weightless, you know, worms, maybe just certain things, then you would use it for that, but maybe not on any of your harder cranks. It just depends on what you're targeting. I just wanted to give you guys a look at what it's like. Now what I also do with mine, I don't throw just little stuff. Okay, I got this out because I'm sure any of you watch the channel familiar with this Mega Bass Pop X. I believe it's a ¼ ounce. I could be wrong. I've been thinking this is ¼ ounce, but it's fairly light. We'll just see how much distance we can get with our regular. And this, the reel is plenty capable. It's this rod is a little stout. I don't know how much distance we'll be able to get with this, so we're just gonna see. So we can still get the good distance, and this, we caught a fish. Wow, they're hitting top water. But you can see we still get the distance somewhat, but look at that little fish. He's barely even been in the rod. If I'd have caught this little dude on the BFS gear, I don't know if this one would have been fun, but it'd been more fun than on this guy. Wow, we had you all kinds of tied up. All right, it works, right? Okay, get back out there. Now let's put this. Did you guys see how far it was? On our BFS setup, and see if we can get the same distance. Well, we didn't get skunked. I put together a few different videos today and didn't really plan on catching a fish, but hey, it's always a plus when you can catch one, right? All right, so now let's throw this guy. Now, we threw all the line off. This is capable of holding about 10 more yards maybe, but you can see I can zing that bait out, and when I catch a fish, guess what? No matter what size, it's going to be more fun on this BFS setup, and it's plenty capable rod. It's only, that rod I was just casting with, the big one, it's like a custom. I bought it used, but it was probably $250, $300 to get that custom rod made back in the day, and it's an awesome rod. This rod can be picked up by anybody off AliExpress for 58 bucks. Cayenne Teton 632 UL. And as you can see, I can accurately get it like right along the bank. Of course, I'm casting all the line off. I did have a little kink and I had to break it. And actually, I think I got it tight again because I put this little combo in the last month and a half has been through the paces with this line. It's probably time for new everything. But, and another thing with the, for me, it's not 100% for everybody. I find I can work a bait, the smaller, lighter baits, better with the ultralight stuff. Like this thing, getting it to walk the dog. You guys can see it out there. It's just so easy with this rod. I always struggled. I'd throw this with, you know, like my Shading X, and I just never seemed to have that ability to get this to walk the dog like I did with the Pop Max. But it's, like I mentioned, scaled down. When you go to scale, this bait on BFS is probably comparable to the Pop Max, you know, on standard gear. It's a 1/2 ounce bait. You get it out there, get it working good, you get more, you know, accurate casts, and that's where BFS for me really shined. These littler baits, the little 1.0, the square bills 1.0, 1.5s are perfect for this kind of, you know, BFS setup. But as far as once you get bigger than that, then you want to use standard gear. So anyway, did you guys get all that? I hope you understand what the point I'm trying to get across, that the term BFS can be misleading. It's basically a scaled down bait casting version of, so you can get these smaller baits and cast them, work them just like you would your, say, 1/2 ounce and bigger baits with your bigger gear. And it could be for you're in a tighter spot, it could be in your smaller pond just with smaller fish. There's all kinds of reasons why you would want to use BFS gear. That help you guys? Whoa, backlash. Let's make one more cast. Buckle up and hang on. One more cast. We're gonna let that baby set. Oh, we're gonna catch. What was that? Did you guys hear that? All right. I'm gonna try to catch a fish for you guys before I leave. So I'm gonna reel this in. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help share the channel. Do that by sharing it on all your, you know, pages, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're at. Bass fishing forums. Share a video here and there. Tell somebody about Bass and Bonsai if you like the channel. If you don't like the channel, tell somebody you don't like about how awesome we are. You know, that kind of thing. But as I get out of here, thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to catch you guys a bass right before I get out of here. Oh boy, oh, I had one. I had one. All right, there ain't nothing here. Exactly how we do it. Big largemouth bass. Let's see if it'll jump. That is a beauty. We're gonna jump. Yeah! Woo! The taste of success. But really.